the Detail with Kobe Bryant. He takes you through an intense NBA playoff film room breakdown. Who will shine in the spotlight? You'll find out when you watch Detail. You can stream it on the ESPN app. It's on ESPN Plus right now, and you can start your free trial of ESPN Plus by logging online. Welcome inside the Quest Multi-Sport Center, and Maria Taylor, Jay Billis. We got Mike Schmitz here. Now we got Jaren Jackson Jr. What's up?
What's going on? I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, so word on the street is that you do want to be an analyst one day whenever your career is over. So we're just trying you out right now. Just know that. These guys are auditioning in the combine for a professional team. You're auditioning right now for television.
I am.
Okay.
You can put it off for a while. The money in the NBA is a little bit better.
Hey, this is a tough seat. I feel like I'm in a hot seat right now. I'm trying to be like y'all, for real.
Describe so far the draft process and how that's been going for you.
It's been great. You know, it's been, obviously, I know there's learning curves with everything. The interview process has been great. Meeting with different teams, just picking their brain, they're picking mine. They're trying to see what kind of guy I'm like. I'm trying to see what kind of team they're like, and everything's been great.
What surprised you the most about this process?
I think the interviews, that surprised me. I wouldn't even call them interviews. I think I would call them kind of like chess matches. It's more like mental games, you know. It's just they're trying to see what you're about, how you react to different things they say to you. And it's been fun, actually. It's been fun hearing the different types of questions. It's been really interesting.
Any questions stand out?
Yeah, they can I see that pen right there?
I'm ready.
They hit me with a sell me this pen.
Okay.
And just like the Wolf of Wall Street, I had to sell it to him. And what's funny is I was,
sell it.
You know, shoot, I mean, this is a gray one, so it goes with everything. you can clip it on something. You know, what's funny, the pen I had in the meeting, it clicked, and I didn't think it was working, so he asked me, is it broken? And I said, no, it's just one of our more unique pens.
Now, Jaren, I know your dad was a longtime NBA veteran. Has he given you any advice through this process? What are some of the biggest things he's told you to kind of look for?
You only get drafted once. That's one thing he told me. Enjoy the draft, enjoy the moment, but just know it's time to get to work. It's time to get to work now. It's time to get to work after. The draft is a fun night, but it's really about, you know, how you produce on the court.
Do you and Dad ever joke about who the better pro is or is going to be? Do you think you're going to be better than Dad?
I always got to try to be better than Dad, but, you know, there's a lot of competition there, especially in shooting, because, you know, he was a three-point shooter. He always wants to get out there and try to outshoot me, even though I don't think he can do that anymore. But, you know, I love playing against him.
How have your workouts been going into the draft? Like, what are you working on? How long during the day are you actually working out and working on your body, those kind of things?
You know, it's pretty much all morning and most of the afternoon. It's from stretching to conditioning is something I really want to focus on, especially going into the workouts. Continuing to shoot, continuing to work on shooting mechanics, continuing to you know, work on our range, because, you know, the line gets farther back. You got to work on a lot of different things. So just making sure I'm in the best shape of my life, because in these workouts, you really got to prove that.
The game has obviously changed for bigs, I'm sure, as you've noticed, much more perimeter oriented, a lot of switching. How do you think that your game fits into that?
I just think I'm a kind of like we'd say a new age type of big guy, you know. I'm able to handle the ball, and if I'm matched with a slower guy, I feel like I'm, you know, skilled enough to go around them. I can finish over guys that are smaller than me in the post. You know, I'm a mismatch problem. And I think just being on the floor, I create I'm a threat from three, so there's a lot of spacing opportunities there. I'm able to space the floor out. I don't really cause congestion. Guards can score if I'm on the court with them. And picking and popping, I create a lot of opportunities for my teammates.
In my mind, the new age post is just trying to eliminate guards. I think that's what you guys are out to do.
We don't even really like guards.
I didn't think so.
You know, hey, really, we don't.
I knew it. All right, Mike, you've done a great job with comparisons on all of our draft prospects. Who does Jaren remind you of?
So, a younger, think Oklahoma City, Serge Ibaka. I think you're both very rare in that you can switch ball screens, you can rim protect, and you can space the floor. So here's Serge when he was with Oklahoma City. I loved his ability to protect the rim playing the 4 or the 5. He stays with LaMarcus just long enough to rotate, meet Tim Duncan at the rim with verticality, with the left hand. Tremendous job. And then here's you, very similar, getting skinny and blocking shots with that left hand. I think you're a predominantly predominantly left-handed shot blocker. You see that amongst the best rim protectors in the NBA. And then his ability to sit down and switch. Here's him against James Harden, a little bit younger Serge Ibaka, a little bit more fleet of foot, does a great job keeping him in front and contests with length. You did that all season long, guarding really 1 through 5. I think you can guard 4s, you can guard 5s, you can switch on to 1s, 2s, and 3s. Your foot speed, your ability to block shots, if beat, is impressive with the celebration there. And then spacing the floor. Serge is a guy who could pick and pop. You know, you want to get out to a hand contest with him, and that's some of the value that he added at the NBA level. I think you're going to be able to do the same. So you have your defensive acumen, you have your ability to switch and rim protect, and then you space the floor. To me, that's just a really, really unique prospect. As you said, kind of the new age big, and I think you can fit with all different types of bigs. You could play with a rim runner, you could play with a post, you could play with a shot blocker. And your measurements as well, somewhat similar. I think you actually are a 7'5" wingspan now. Like Mo, your arms grew about an inch or so. So yeah, some similarities I see between you two for sure.
Do you agree with that comparison, Jaren? Who have you been compared to?
Actually, you know, that's really interesting. I never really thought of it like that. You know, you really kind of broke it down. We had a nice little film session right there. But yeah, Serge Ibaka is definitely, you know, a great player. Somebody I definitely look up to, especially on the defensive end. You know, plays both ends, plays hard, and doesn't force anything. Keeps it simple and knows where his strengths and weaknesses at. And I think that's just like me.
I think the numbers say that both you and Mohamed Bamba have the most blocked shots per 40 minutes in this draft. But how comfortable are you? You know you're a great shot blocker. How comfortable are you when you do get out to have to guard ball screens and you have to make decisions on switches, hedging, and all that? What's your comfort level there?
Well, you know, some of that comes with communication. You have to know when to switch. That's kind of really where, you know, I think I'm going to get better at and grow at in the NBA, just talking with my teammates. And I think just using your length. Sometimes guards are quicker than you, so you don't want to play that game with them. You want to use your length back up. Understand that you may not block their shot, but you want to make it as hard as possible for them to get it off.
I think we first saw you when you were 16 years old, maybe in Colorado Springs. You were skinny, you were gangly, you had this kind of push shot, you were still, you know, figuring yourself out.
Oh, man.
How have you evolved since then, especially physically and in the toughness department?
It just takes time, honestly. I was growing so fast, and I'm still growing, that I wasn't completely aware of my body. I think I was just kind of out there. I grew like 5 inches in such a short span of time that I was kind of developing that. And, you know, my shot is always going to be somewhat, you know, push shot. But, you know, just developing that, making sure my wrist back, making sure I stop the ball. And even though if your mechanics are a little different, then, you know, you just got to learn to be consistent with it. If you can shoot the same way each time, then the more reps you get up, the more you'll make.
You know, your dad played in the NBA for a long time, and it seems like we always gravitate toward asking you about your dad, but you've got an unbelievable mom. Your mom's a stud. How big of an influence has your mom been on you throughout this process?
Huge. You know, she's a hard worker. That's kind of where I get some of that from. I get a lot of height from her, too. You know, she's very tall. There you go. And just all her dedication she's put into her job rubs off of me a lot. She came from humble beginnings, and, you know, she's made it to where, you know, she's had great success in her job at the WNBPA. And I'm so happy for her, and happy Mother's Day. It was it's around that time, so I had to throw that in there.
Yeah. Mom is director of operations at the WNBPA, and then also, as you know, Dad won an NBA championship. Jaren Jackson Jr., he played at Michigan State, and now a potential lottery pick. Thanks for joining us. Eventually, you can have his job. Don't worry.
No problem, man.
We're going to let him hold on to it till you get there.
I'm trying to be like you, for real. I thought I was getting an ESPN poll, but I didn't get that. So.
Next time.
He can have my job because I just took your job.
Okay. Anyways, you let one person read a promo, and now they think they run the whole show. Second scrimmage is coming your way, and also we're going to spend some time with Rob Pelinka when we come back, joining us here on the set. NBA Combine, it is underway here on the west side of Chicago. Some of the best have been gracing us with their presence during our coverage.